The attributes of God can be understood from two main angles: attributes of essence and attributes of action. Attributes of essence are attributes that describe God as Himself, without any reference to anything else. Attributes of action are attributes that manifest themselves in God's interactions or relationships with other things. When we look at a human being, the attributes of essence represent inherent characteristics like gender, height, and the like, defining the individual's qualities without reference to anything else. When a human interacts with another person and shows kindness, or displays mercy, or engages in acts of charity or the like, it becomes an attribute of action, because it is in relation with someone else. We will look through three of the most important attributes of the essence of God. They are life, knowledge, and power. How do we prove God has these attributes? Let's begin with knowledge. We will use the same logic and arguments from our previous lessons. How can we prove God has knowledge? The simple proof is when we look at the world, we see that people have knowledge. Where does this knowledge come from? In the same logic as the previous lessons, it must come from a necessary being. Otherwise, we will have an infinite regress. And we have proven that an infinite regress is impossible. Otherwise, nothing will ever exist. It has to stop at a necessary being, who we have called God. This proves that God must have knowledge of what we know and what we don't know. Let's explore another argument, the proof by design argument, where we established in our previous lessons that the world must have a designer. To be a designer, one must have knowledge about what they are designing. When we consider that God designed the universe, it logically follows that God must have the knowledge required for this task. As we study things in the world and discover its intricate design and complexity, it becomes obvious that God must have an enormous amount of knowledge to create it. The more we understand the world's design and complexity, the more it emphasizes the vast amount of knowledge that God must have. Let's explore a further argument by using the intrinsic proof, or the Fitrah. We said in our previous lessons, in challenging situations, it's common for people to instinctively turn to a higher power for help. Imagine you are stranded at sea, and you instinctively call for a higher power for help. This proves you instinctively believe that this higher power must have knowledge of your situation, knowing where you are and what you are going through. These three simple arguments we just presented can be used for other attributes as well, but we will explain them in further lessons.